Listen, I get it. You probably clicked on this video thinking there is no way that squirting is even real, or maybe that only a handful of the population can actually do it because you yourself have never done it or you've never provided that amount of pleasure to your partner before. But that's okay because nobody has ever taught you how to do so. Because believe it or not, squirting is actually a skill. And how would I know that? Well, hi, my name's Miranda and I taught myself how to squirt. And then I taught my partner how to make me squirt. And by the end of this video, you're gonna know exactly how to do it, step by step. And make sure you stay all the way to step number 6 because this is where a lot of people go wrong. And it's the one step that is probably gonna change everything. Now, if you don't believe me and you wanna see me live in action, teach and show you exactly how to do it on my body, I'm dropping my OnlyFriends May 1st, where you're able to see my partner and I do it together or me do it solo. That way, if you are a woman or you are somebody who wants to learn how to make your partner give you those waterworks or how to access those waterworks by yourself, then don't forget to subscribe. After all, I know I'm a visual learner, so it only makes sense that I provide you with visual education as well. Now let's get into it. The thing is that squirting isn't just a technique. It's not just a series of hand motions that you do and put together to make yourself or your partner climax. But it actually has to do with whether or not she feels safe enough to actually let go with you. Now, the woman's body has a literal off switch that will actually drop the guard from her brain, putting up all the walls of protection. And I'm sorry to break it to you, but there is nothing that you could do physically to actually remove those walls. When a woman feels safe with you, not just physically, but emotionally, her nervous system actually relaxes. So you can have the best technique in the whole entire world, but if she does not feel fully safe with you, that release is never gonna happen. Now, step 2 is actually about the room and the environment that you create. And most guys get this completely wrong and don't really give a F about it. So how do we make this moment feel like it's just for her? Obviously, we're not gonna have our phones. If you live with people, they're not gonna be home. The doors are gonna be locked. The lights are gonna be down low because mood lighting is everything. You cannot tell me different. We want to make it intentional. Some people have a scent that they like to put in their diffuser, or maybe it's a candle or an incense that they like to light. Think about bringing her all the way down to a stress-free environment. You wanna feel held by the space. Create a container that literally holds her nervous system. And there's a reason why we do this, because the more that she relaxes, the more that her body opens. Like I said, pressure is the number one thing that is going to kill this. So completely remove it. Now, step 3 is the part that nobody ever talks about, but if you skip this step, none of the other ones are gonna work. I'm gonna need you to pay attention because you might actually have to tell her this because she might not know it either. Now, the G-spot actually lays right against the bladder. Now, the sensation that we wanna feel like when we're a woman right before we get that release is actually the urge and the pressure to need to pee. And it's a strong one. Now, if she doesn't feel safe enough to actually lean into that, she's gonna clench up and worry about letting everything go. And that clench and that block is exactly what's going to be blocking that whole release. And most likely, she's not even gonna know that that's what's stopping it. So the easiest way to avoid this from ruining everything is to actually have her go to the washroom first. That way, her mind is at ease. But because squirting obviously makes a mess, no matter how big or how small the squirt is, we always want to lay down a towel or a squirt blanket. I absolutely am obsessed with my squirt blankets. I have tons. I also have a mattress protector because sometimes things get really messy. And it's annoying when you know how to squirt because once you know how to squirt, you don't really know how to turn off the faucet sometimes. But you also want to vocalize and let her know out loud that whatever comes out is totally fine. That whatever happens is completely fine. I love all of you. I am here for this experience. I'm excited for this experience. I'm excited to be able to provide you so much pleasure. Take your time. But the sentence that matters more than anything that you are doing is affirming to her that whatever happens, happens and is completely fine. You're not just her partner in this moment, but you're also her safe space, somebody she can lean into to trust and clear free of judgment. Now, step 4 is where you actually begin to start touching her, and the order actually matters more than you think. Now, I know we want to get there really, really fast, but we do not ever rush to the genitals. I know you want to. I know you want to, because I want to too sometimes. But for women, we really, really need to slow down. It's really about building that full body pleasure. If she's carrying tension anywhere, her body is completely closed off. Maybe you massage her with warm oil, or you let her take a shower by herself, or maybe perhaps with you. Make sure the list of chores is done if that's something that normally bothers her. Anything that could potentially be causing her lots of stress or feel like pressure, try your best to remove that. And then we want to take our time with her body. So making out, kissing all the way down her body, stimulating and awakening all of those erogenous zones. Now, I don't want you to think of this as a foreplay filler, because this matters so much more. So this is what's leading you up to foreplay. I absolutely am obsessed with dirty talk, and that can get me dripping already. So if you prime their body with your voice, with textures, stimulating those erogenous zones, working your way nice and slow like you are eating the most delicious mango ever, you're gonna be in a good position. Now, step 5 is where most guys get really impatient and absolutely lose it. So if you're new here and you don't already know this, the clitoris is how majority of women actually have an orgasm, and it holds over 10,000 nerve endings, so it's really sensitive. But we have to really, really slowly warm up the outside of the vulva. So everything is going to be external. We are slowly going to be teasing and stimulating the clitoris. Now, her body is going to be guiding your rhythm. So with her hip rocks, her motions, you can ask her faster, slower, softer, more rough. Ask her easy questions so she's allowed to stay in her body. You're following her at this point. You are not leading her yet. Watch her breathing, listen, and stay consistent. Now, I can't stress this enough because I don't know why this happens, but a lot of people want to switch it up every 30 seconds, and we need to be able to build slowly with consistency. That doesn't mean stick to the same technique the whole time. You can switch it up depending on what your partner likes, but you want to pick something that can build nicely. If it's working, stay there. Now, the 6th step is all about the G-spot technique, and honestly, most of you are probably doing it wrong. So now that she's all warmed up and juicy, that vaginal opening is going to start to expand, dilate, become swollen and juicy, inviting your fingers in deeper. So we always like to add an extra little bit of lubrication. So make sure your fingers are well lubricated. We're gonna start off nice and slow with that traditional come hither motion. So it looks like this. Now, an option here is not only to use 2 fingers, but to actually start with 1 finger and just nice and slowly caress the G-spot. You are looking for a texture that feels like a wet raspberry or a walnut. It's gonna have a ribbed-like texture, and it's gonna be pretty squishy and spongy, 1 to 2 inches inside of the vaginal canal. So when her hips are rocking and rolling and she's grinding into you, that's when you're gonna start really stimulating the G-spot, because the G-spot can actually handle a lot of pressure, but you have to build up to get there. Once that tissue is nice and swollen and juicy, you're gonna start the pumping motion. Now, most of you are gonna go like this with your hand and your wrist, and goddamn, is it gonna get tired right quick. So what I want you to do is think about moving from your elbow and from your shoulder. This way you can drive a lot more pressure and get a good rhythm without everything burning out too fast. So I like to keep my fingers like this and stop that motion and just go like this. So keep that curl motion and then rock back and forth. Now, you can use these 2 fingers or an option to use these 2. If you're using these 2, I want you to come from in between her legs. So she's like this, wide open, and you're gonna be on your knees like this, because that way you can drive, but also the palm contact is also going to be able to stimulate her clitoris. Now, as she starts to get closer, her breath is going to change. She's going to match your rhythm. She's going to be rocking and grinding into it, probably giving you some type of words of affirmation. You can invite her to bring her knees closer to her chest. That's going to allow you to access her G-spot even better and even deeper. When I say deeper, I don't mean deeper into the vaginal canal. I mean that deeper sensation. So you're still in that 1 to 2 inches inside the upper wall going up towards the belly button on that G-spot. It's just like a deeper rhythm that you're able to get when her knees are closer to the chest, like more easier access. From here, you're going to keep the speed and stay with the same stroke. Watch her body and remember what I said. Do not change what you are doing. As things start really building up, she's going to feel that pressure like she needs to pee. Tell her to push and lean into it. If you feel her start to bear down, remove your fingers. Let that release flow out. It is much harder to squirt with something inside of you than it is when you are pulling out at the right time. The most important thing is to trust the environment and eliminate all pressure and all fear. Make sure you warm up the full body and then start with the external before you move into internal. If you do it in that order every single time, when she learns how to let go and you learn how to match the rhythm and do the technique, it will happen every single time. And then you can come back and I can teach you about positions to make her squirt. And like I said, if you want to see the whole thing live, May 1st is when I launch my OnlyFriends, where I'm going to have a partnered education as well as solo. And I'll be taking requests because it's about time I showed you guys how to do the do and not just talk about it. The link's in the description and subscribe if this helped. And don't forget to drop a comment because I do read them. Bye, babies. Good luck.